How many Australians speak Indonesian? The answer to this question depends on what qualifies as speaking. Does having learned the language at some point in the past qualify? Or should we only count those who are actively using it on a day-to-day basis? Giving some background to the topic for those who are unfamiliar, the teaching of Indonesian language has been of interest to Australia since 1987, when the government issued its first policy on languages. After this policy was refined in the following years, in 1994 the Keating government selected Indonesian as one of 4 languages included in the National Asian Languages and Studies in Australian Schools (NALSA's) initiative. The rationale was purely economical, as Indonesia was one of Australia's largest trading partners, alongside China, Japan, and South Korea. NALSA's was defunded in 2002 by the Howard government. At the time, there was a shadow minister by the name of Kevin Rudd, who had been interested in NALSA's when the policy was first formulated. Rudd denounced the move of the Howard government, and when he himself became Prime Minister in 2007 the policy was reinstated as the National Asian Languages and Studies in Schools program, NALSP. Back to the original question. The only dataset available on Indonesian language education in Australia was released by the Department of Education and Training in 2010. That data reveals that 191,000 students K-12 were learning Indonesian in Australian schools in 2008. However, that number is not evenly distributed across the years, as only 1,300 students were studying the language in Year 12. Those numbers give an indication of how interest in Indonesian may decline over a student's K-12 education. Between 2005 and 2009, the number of Year 12 students studying Indonesian nearly halved. Extrapolating additional information given by the NSW Board of Studies last year, there could be somewhere between 700 to 800 Year 12 students learning Indonesian today. If we accumulate these learners over all the years, there are probably several thousand Australians who have basic understanding of the Indonesian language. Those who pursue their studies into intermediate and advanced Indonesian likely only number in the low hundreds. Further reading: The Lost Decade, Learning Asian Languages by Greg Jericho.